We are live. So Facebook, hi, it's your girl, Linda Marcus Smith here. This is another episode of me interviewing people in show business so that you can get to know them off screen and find out what they're really like in real life. Today we have a very esteemed guest for you to meet, Carol Ostrow. She's over there in the other square. I hope I pronounced your name correctly.
Almost. Ostrow, like window.
Ostrow.
I
Okay.
don't care what, it's okay.
Thank you for correcting me. I'm glad I asked. Carol Ostrow has a very long introduction and it deserves to all be said. And I will do that in just 1 minute, folks. First, I have to mention my one and only sponsor. Do you know how many years I went without one sponsor? 70. I now have a sponsor. And I have to tell you that ahabroadway.org is the place to go because they believe in children, seniors, and veterans learning improv, comedy, stand-up comedy, improv comedy, and acting. Seniors and veterans can take classes for $10 a class, taught by Chris Murphy. He's a headliner. He's a working paid comedian. $10 a session. You got to do it. So if you want to up your game, you know where to go, folks. ahabroadway.org. I'm a graduate of it. So, that should say something. I don't know what, but it should say something. Anyway, let me get on to the real purpose of getting on to Zoom today. It's our esteemed guest, Carol Ostrow. And let me read you her wonderful introduction. Wait till you hear this. I do add a little bit of levity in here. Just ignore me. I'm not doing it to make light of your career. It's just who I am. Carol Ostrow is an accomplished theatrical producer. On March 19th, which is my birthday, 2017, yeah, that's not my year of birth, 2017, she produced the 100th anniversary gala for the Actors Temple at the Friars Club. She also co-produced the first art series at the historic Actors Temple called Hot Nights at a Cool Shul with Joan Finkelstein. I'm gonna lose my false teeth talking. Carol was on the producing team for the revival of the award-winning off-Broadway comedy Forbidden Broadway. Carol also produced the Anti-Defamation League's production of ADL and Broadway, Side by Side Against Hate for 1 year, with more than 15 current stars on Broadway. Did you hear what I said? 15 current stars on Broadway. Other producing credits include Song of Solomon in concert form at the Actors Temple, as well as Berlin to Broadway, Transatlantic, starring Adrian Hahn, and Falling in Love with Love, starring Anna Bergman. In 1998, Carol produced Jewish American Princesses at the Parker Playhouse in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yeah.
Here comes the part I love the most. Her other production credits include I Am Anne Frank, oh my gosh, starring Andrea Marcovici at Town Hall. Berlin to Broadway with Kurt Weill at the Triad Theater, and Scent of Roses starring Julie Harris at the Helen Hayes Performing Arts Center. Are you hearing anything that sounds familiar? I am. If not, just Google the heck out of this intro. In addition to that, she was the creator and producer of Hot Klezmer at the American Jewish Theater, and was a co-producer of After Play, written by and starring the late, great Ann Mira and her husband, Jerry Stiller. Huge fan. I'm a huge fan. Winner of the Outer Critics Circle Award for Best New Playwright, as well as the musicals Inside Out, Greetings, starring Greg Edelman, and A Room of One's Own, starring Eileen Atkins, winner of the Obie Award for Best Actress, Drama Desk, Drama League, and Lucille Lortel Awards for Best Play. Holy Toledo. Carol, along with her late partner Arthur Cantor, name sound familiar, produced Beau Jest in New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., and Boston. Her newest venture is producing films such as Tort Bluma, winner of 4 major festival awards, and is actively 4 major festival awards, the winner, and is actively producing another film based on a true story. She also runs a group sales organization, providing tickets to Broadway and off-Broadway shows. She is teaching a presentation training to those who wish to learn how to speak publicly. I need to sign up. How to make your teeth fit. In addition to being a producer, director, actress, dancer, and choreographer, Carol is a dedicated volunteer. Where does she find the time? She has served on the boards and has raised funds for the League of Professional Women in Theater, the Barrow Group, I know you've heard of it, the Joyce Dutka Foundation for the Arts, and the Laniado Hospital in Netanya, Israel.
Netanya.
Of course it is. Netanya, Israel. Carol has also served as the WIZO,
WIZO, yes,
WIZO.
Women's International Zionist Organization.
Oh, wow. As the WIZO chairperson of the Women's Division Children's Fashion Show fundraisers. She was also honored to serve as the vice chair of the board for the Women's Theater Project and is currently heading the committee to renovate the Actors Temple in New York City, and is currently, get a load of this, their first female president in 101 years.
Yay!
And she is so proud to serve, and I'm so proud to have her. I'm so proud to be able to even utter her accomplishment.
Oh, you're so like my mother.
Let's welcome to the stage Carol Ostrow. Hi, Carol.
Hi, Linda. Thank you so much. I never intended for you to read the whole thing. What a life, huh?
Yes, Carol. Oh my gosh. Thank you for coming on. What a life you've had.
And it's not over yet, right?
No, we're not going to give up. We're going to keep on until the very last drop of us is out.
Yes, please, God. Thank you. Yes.
I would like to have you tell people what it's been like to be in New York during and after the pandemic. Well, hopefully we're out of this pandemic soon, but can you speak to what you've encountered with your friends and loved ones?
Well, it's been very interesting, Linda. And in retrospect, I tried and I did put my time to as good use as I possibly could. It's been difficult and miserable for all of us, not only with the COVID, but the political situation, not knowing what was going to happen in the world, and my business, where I made a nice income from selling Broadway and off-Broadway tickets, which is, I mean, as a producer of shows, I started my business just to fill the audience so that I could make sure we had people to pay for the shows that I was producing and raise the money for. And that business, after 25 years, was totally gone, like so many. I'm not the only one. And fortunately, God gave me, and my parents gave me, the gift of not worrying so much about failing. But if something doesn't work, try something else. And if that doesn't work, so what? Go somewhere else. So what I did was write a book of poetry about what I was doing. And in that, talking truth about the horror that was going on, but trying to keep my sense of humor, because otherwise I would have gone mad like everybody else. So I wrote a little book, which was published. Can you imagine?
Yay.
Yeah, called Poems from My Pandemic Pen. And in that, I also talked about being a Jewish girl from Brooklyn trying to make her way. I ran away from home when I was 17 with a magician, would you believe? My mother sat Shiva for me. But that's how I got to Las Vegas and was a showgirl, and my life just took off from there. So I tried to make good use of that time and using whatever experience I've had in the past. And also, it was such a joy and a privilege for me to think of ways to make money for the Actors Temple. I am the president, as you've said, for the past 7 years. I can't believe I've been here for 7 years. And within that time, I learned a new skill, and that was how to make videos. And I'm not good on Zoom. Oh no, not good. I'm not a tech person at all. But if I have to do it, I have to do it if I want to accomplish something. So I started making videos, and the Actors Temple, which is so lovely, has a rich, rich, rich history to draw from. So I started making videos of Sophie Tucker, that fabulous female entertainer who was the first of her kind. So Rabbi Jill, our wonderful esteemed rabbi, read her story on video, and we did the Three Stooges and all of the stars that I could think of. The scripts were written by Ira Helf, who's now a rabbi ordained by Rabbi Jill, of all things. And he wrote the scripts. I translated them into actors speak, and we did 7 of them already, and they've raised some money. So writing a book, writing and trying to get these videos, time passed, and it's 2 years. Can you believe it? They went like that.
I want to get the videos, and I want to get your book.
Oh, listen, thank you. Thank you so much. Here it is. It's Poems from My Pandemic Pen by Carol Ostrow. I took the picture myself in my bathroom, sitting on my tub, click.
That's beautiful that you got through the pandemic and came out better off and made the world better off.
I wanted to somehow contribute. That's what my whole life has been about. My father always taught me that. Have a good life, but you must give back. Tzedakah. That's what it is. Give back. Always give back. And I feel I've been blessed. These are not any things that I feel responsible for. I was able to find them by looking inside, and all of us can do that. Just look here and you'll find whatever you need.
Wow. And that's where true confidence comes from.
Well, I don't know about that. Fear of failure, fear of success, I'm riddled with that. But whatever it is, I am able to plow through it. I guess because my parents just wanted a boy. And in order to make up for that, they gave me a lot of love and a lot of attention, and gave me dancing lessons since I was 2 years old. I only know show business. That's how I've always made a living. Not always successfully, but I was able to eke out a living and get better and better and better. Fail and get up, and try something else. So it's been an interesting journey, and one that I'm very grateful for. Very much so. And I have the most wonderful supportive friends in the whole world.
And you're with the most beautiful rabbi ever.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody falls in love with her from the minute they meet her. She's just the best.
Very, very special.
Very. What is it that, so you grew up in Brooklyn. What part of Brooklyn? I lived in Brooklyn, in Bensonhurst, for about a year.
I lived in Bensonhurst for a while in an all Italian neighborhood, and didn't even know what it meant to be Jewish. Had no idea, because my friends were Catholic, and my parents loved for me to be friends with everyone. And I'd go to midnight mass at Christmas. Although my parents did observe their parents were survivors, Holocaust survivors, and my parents decided not to be religious. So I didn't really know how Jewish I am and feel until my last husband. I've had 3. He had 5 sons, most of whom were older than me, but he loved the religion. And so I learned more about it, and then became connected later on with the wonderful Actors Temple. But I grew up in Brooklyn, and then we moved to Ocean Avenue between R and S. So I went to high school there, and then left when I was 17 and lived all over the country, traveling in shows, traveling with a magician. And I always tried to go to school. School, I realized, was tantamount to anything, any success that I wanted in my life. So I always enrolled wherever I was. I went to the University of Las Vegas campus, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas campus. And then I went with a very famous choreographer to Reno, and I went to not the Las Vegas campus, but University of Nevada in Reno, and then went to Miami University while I was working at the Americana Hotel, which became well, they changed the name from the Americana, and it just slips my mind right now. From the fall, I don't remember everything either. I had a very, very bad fall with a little, I erased my whole eyebrow. So I'm on pills now that if I take them regularly, I can't remember my name. I'm glad I said Ostrow. So anyway, I went to Las Vegas, Reno, Miami, and then wound up with my 3rd husband in Washington, D.C., and went to American University and finally graduated after many, many years with a degree, a Bachelor of Arts degree. And I lived in Washington, D.C. for a very long time and got to be a high fashion model. I wanted to do that, but becoming a high fashion model, I was an anorexic bulimic. To be thin. I wasn't meant to be thin. I was a voluptuous showgirl and then became an anorexic model. That was, but that's me. I wanted to push myself into a model, and I was going to do it by hook or by crook, even if it killed me, and it nearly did. So I realized when I wasn't eating, I can still go without eating for 2 weeks. Not healthy. Not good. So I decided to buy the agency that I worked for, Central Casting. I bought into it, and I thought, let the other girls be skinny and get sick from it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be behind the scenes. And I've stayed more or less, not as an actress anymore, or a model or a showgirl, but behind the scenes, I find, is far more creative than being in front, because when you're in front, sorry about that.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
When you're in
all day.
Yeah. When you're in front of the camera or on the stage, it's always me, 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 me. How do I feel? How do I look? Am I too tall, too thin, too young, too old? And it was too much me, 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 me. I wanted a wider picture. I wanted more responsibility. I wanted to worry about the costumes, the lighting. It shouldn't come from here. It makes lines and gives you a disfigured face. You have to know where everything is in juxtaposition to where you want the play to go. Everything has a meaning and a beat. And that's like choreography. I also started to choreograph shows. And when I got to Washington, D.C. with this modeling, I could see that the shows were the dullest things I'd ever seen in my life. Everybody was unhappy looking. The women were just human hangers. And I thought, why don't I try to make it into a little Las Vegas kind of show, bring a little sex into it? And of course, you're not supposed to do that. The whole focus of attention is on the clothing. But I went to the head of Saks Fifth Avenue, where I worked all the time doing the shows. And I said to her, look, you don't have to pay me for this first time, but I'd like to show you how I've learned to choreograph. And I think it'll be more enjoyable for the girls in the show and the boys and the audience, and you'll sell more clothes. I didn't know what I was talking about. I had no idea, none. I just plunged ahead and figured, what have I got to lose? I can still be the head of the agency. And so, by golly, by risking everything, it just happened to work. And I started choreographing for everybody. And what a joy to see something that you only visualized come to fruition. So I like that. I like being behind the scenes. It didn't always work. I didn't always put on a little fun, fabulous show. Sometimes it didn't work, but most of the time it did. And I forget the bad times and I only remember the good times anyway.
So are you saying that fashion shows used to be very bland, boring, and you added choreography and you were the first to do it? You thought of it?
I did.
That's
I did.
Huge. That's
in
huge.
Washington, D.C. And then everybody thought it was a good idea. And
my daughter was a model. And I know what you're talking about. I love watching a fashion show where they use choreography.
Oh, absolutely. And the models loved it also because it's very dull, just walking on that T ramp and not having any particular vision in mind of where to go and what to do. So if it's dancing a little bit and moving to the music and shaking your shoulders and shimmying a little bit, it just adds some joy. That's the whole point, to add a little joy, a little enjoyment, not only for the audience, but the people who are doing it. Joy is the the optimum word here for life in general, that I try very hard to live with and for and by. Joy.
The minute you came on the screen, I thought, your name should be Joy, not Carol. The minute you came on the screen, I felt joy coming through.
Oh, thank you. Everybody in my family is called Carol. They had no imagination at all of us. And I had a very famous cousin. I always take an opportunity to mention him. He was my dear and beloved, the most famous scientist in the world, my first cousin, Dr. Carl Sagan.
Wow.
So Carl was named after also Hannah, our great grandmother. His sister is Carol. I'm Carol. I have two other cousin Carols in the family. But I had the distinction of being Big Carol. Suddenly I was the tallest one. My mother had good milk. Tallest one, 5'9".
You mentioned your grandparents went through the Holocaust?
Yes.
And my parents did. My parents did. So yeah. So I wanted to say that when you said it, but I didn't get to breaking in until now to tell you.
Well,
so we have
actually, it was just on the cusp. They came here in the late 20s, very early 30s, when there were pogroms everywhere. So my father's family came from Russia, from that part of the world, and my mother's family came from Austria. So they were not different cultures, but sort of a different kind of Glitziana and the Ashkenazi type of Jewish culture. So actually, I'm going to be producing a play at the Actors Temple as a fundraiser about the Ashkenazi and the different kinds of Judaism that those people faced in the early turn of the century, where it was almost two different religions, that the Ashkenazi didn't want any outside of religion at all. Just marry within your cult or your religion, your little world. So it's very, very interesting. And it's a story about, it's called Arrivals, a love story, and how these people go to Seattle, Washington. Imagine having come from Europe, from Russia, from Austria, from Poland, coming across the sea and then across the United States and winding up by the Pacific Ocean in Seattle, Washington. But it's the same if they came to the Lower East Side. Same thing.
Same thing.
Same kind of culture. But so my grandparents came and they were very religious. They were kosher. And when my parents came along, they didn't want that. They didn't want to be kosher. They wanted to be American. And they didn't want to necessarily be recognized as, oh, those Jewish people over there. So they changed our name. I wasn't born yet. I have an older brother who has since passed away, but our name was Feinberg. And who knows what it was when they came to Ellis Island and wherever they had to come to show their credentials and that they weren't sick, that they were vaccinated and didn't have smallpox. And they wound up in New York. And here I am, a product of all of that history, as we Jews are. And so it was very important for me to be attached to the Actors Temple because I'm so proud of my history.
Yes, same here. I'm attached to it. I'm not yet a member. I haven't converted. My mother was not Jewish, but I think at the very end, she had a rabbi visit her frequently, and I think she converted to Judaism in her last moments.
Oh, really?
I believe in my heart that's what has happened to her. So that makes me Jewish.
Yeah. Congratulations.
So,
and you're
yeah.
most welcome to our temple. I'd love to meet you there and give you a tour, and we'll bring Bob Greenberg, one of your fellow comedians, and we'll bring Rabbi Jill, and we'll welcome you. And Helaine Witt, I understand, is a good friend of yours.
I love
Of course.
Helaine.
Yes, I do too. She's a wonderful, terrific comedian and human being.
Absolutely. She's probably on Facebook right now watching us, typing comments I don't take time to look at in the moment. I'm in this moment. I can't be in two moments at once.
Well, you shouldn't be. What do they say? A tushy only in one place at a time, one seat at a time.
That's what my dad always said. You can't with one tush be in two places.
Be in two places, yeah. But that's the thing about focusing on what you're doing. If you just show up and you focus, that's 90% of the job being done. Be there, focus, not elsewhere, not a million different places. When you're facing someone, talking to them, they're the focus of attention.
Exactly.
Or your work, that's it. You can have all sorts of things that come along that distract you. Phone call, for instance, or something else. But if you focus, you'll get so much more done. And I am so now focusing on filmmaking. I'm taking a class that's because I was in a poetry, not a contest, but a poetry celebration on Governor's Island this summer. And I asked a videographer, Janine Pierce Doswell, who does all of my videos, to just come along. Let's have some fun and remember this day. So we have the establishing shot on the water by the ferry. It says Governor's Island, and then the trip on the ferry, which was delightful. And we put all of this together. There were three of us from the publishing house of Three Tomatoes, who published my poetry book. And we had such a ball that actually later on this afternoon, I'm premiering this documentary, which I don't know how to make, but I've seen so many of them and I'm taking classes now. So it's another challenge of the Poetry Festival on Governor's Island this past summer. It was so much fun. And we put it all together with titles and starring this one, starring that one. And we're going to see it all put together today, this afternoon at a friend's home, my friend Jane Goldman, who's a wonderful artist. So we're doing that.
Exciting.
It's a whole new horizon. Maybe this is what I'm meant to do now.
Yes. Isn't it funny how we transition with life?
Yes. I don't always know if I have that much of a choice. It just seems that life leads me in this direction, and I just say, all right, let's see where it leads. And if I don't like it, Yogi Berra said, you see a fork in the road, take it. And that's what I've done. I see a fork in the road, and what have I got to lose? I take it and do as much with it as I can. And fortunately, as a producer, I've learned you got to know when to open and you got to know when to close. So every little thing I've ever learned since I was 2 years old, since Mama taught me to sing and dance, I've used to this minute.
Wow.
Who knew?
I'd love to have you say a little. I know Rabbi Jill and Bob Greenberger are going to come here, and they're also, Rabbi Jill is the rabbi at Actors Temple, and Bob Greenberg plays a heavy role there, as well as a superb comedian and impressionist or impersonator. I'm not sure which it is.
He's all of the above.
He's so fabulous. So they're going to talk about the Actors Temple, but could you go into just a little bit of depth? I know it was naturally where you felt you belonged, but could you talk about what it means to you and what it's done for you, or how people can help Actors Temple?
Oh my goodness. It has really become my priority. Everything else is not nearly as important as the survival of this historic, magnificent building. This coming year, 2022, it will be 105 years old. Steeped in history, started by actors who were escaping Europe, like our grandparents, like our forefathers and mothers, escaping bigotry and hatred. And they faced a little problem here too, because they were entertainers and that was frowned upon. So they made their own temple. The Actors Temple was called the Hebrew Relief Society, Temple Ezrath, Israel, and then now it's the Actors Temple. So they came here and used it as their own home, and it became a theater where every single actor, Jewish actor on Broadway, in the 30s, it started in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. Every single Jewish actor on Broadway came to the Actors Temple to pray or to be a member. I mean, Milton Berle, George Jessel, all of those names, the Ritz brothers, the Marx brothers, all of them. The Three Stooges are still popular today. I made a video about them. They came to this shrine of Judaism, which is very reformed. Anyone who wishes to come, even if you're not Jewish, you can walk in the door and enjoy this historical place. And it's now a theater. We also have productions. Right now we have Metamorphosis by this wonderful ballerina. It's a ballet. We have The Housewives of New Jersey. What a drag. Fun show. So we're operating 7 days a week. We have on Friday nights, Rabbi Jill with her services, Saturday morning, all of the holidays we have. We just celebrate Sukkot outside with our beautiful little tent that we have for that holiday. So we're there to serve our community also. And this coming Sunday, we're serving our community. Equity Fights AIDS. We're going to be out there with our own table, selling all sorts of artifacts from the theater, playbills and t-shirts, all the money going to Actors Equity Fights AIDS. So we're a part of that. We're part of the community. We're part of our religious beliefs, and we're there for culture, beauty, and entertainment. We want to be a center for all culture and beauty. And that's what I live for. It's my passion, and it's what I get up every day. And it's my goal every day to do something for the Actors Temple. Does that answer your question? I may have gotten off on a tangent,
It's
but
beautiful. Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
Where,
you. Now, during COVID, our doors are not opened to the public, but we hope to be. It's open for the theater because we rent to a theater producer and he observes all of the important details for COVID. You have to be vaccinated, you cannot come in without a mask, and everyone is seated accordingly. So, but I have not opened up the doors with the approval of the board. By the way, we have the most wonderful board of trustees that anyone could be blessed with. They're brilliant and they're so understanding. And we've all been together. I've been the president now, I can't believe it, 7 years, and many of them have been there before I ever came. So we're a cohesive, wonderful group, completely dedicated to the survival of our beautiful temple. And if you'd like to know more about us, we're at www.theactorstemple.org. And we'll
so
put
you
you
can
on a
go
mailing
there and
list.
you can donate because
Excuse
you've
me.
heard what
Yeah.
a wonderful job they're doing. So open up your,
Donating is the operative word. Yes, because
absolutely.
our doors have not been opened. And our membership, because of COVID, so many have moved and gone elsewhere. And we really need help. We're doing all right. I'm not crying poverty. We've got so many generous donors. And as I said, the board of directors is magnificent, but we need donations. And we have a tree of life that you can donate and put the name of your ancestors on a tree of life. You can donate by getting a chair plaque. None of these things are very expensive. Or you can have a huge plaque like I did for my parents and I did for my husband, may he rest in peace. Everybody is gone, so everybody is memorialized at the temple. You can have a Torah cover made. There are beautiful things to remember those that you love. And for you, while you're alive and kicking, please send money. Then listen, we're pulled in so many directions.
Yes.
There's so much to give money to and worthy causes. But we are your heritage. We are here for the future. So give a little, get a lot, and give a little.
I love it. What would you like to accomplish with the rest of your life? Let's say the good Lord allows you to live another 75 years in good health with a great mind. What would you like to accomplish?
What I've always sought to do, bring more beauty into the world, more beauty, more culture, whatever I am able to do, I wish to share if it's to the betterment. I don't want to fetch about falling down or living life or having a pain or taking an antibiotic, all of which I have right now. It's not important, although I do share it so that everybody knows none of us go unscathed. And maybe it is important to share our kvetching and aches and pains if it makes someone feel better about who they are. And that's all I care about. Well, whether I'll do big, beautiful things, whether I'll be honored somewhere, I don't know. That's not what's important. It's that whatever gifts I have, I can share to bring that beauty and culture into someone else's life, because it's not right to have something and not share it.
Boy, you are a beautiful flower. I'm telling you, I'm so impressed. And while I'm talking to you,
Thank you.
you know who comes to my mind is Kathy Lee Gifford and
Oh.
Joy, the wife of who was Regis Philbin's wife. You have the same spirit as the two of them. Have you ever met them?
No, but I've seen them on television, and I really do.
Kathy Lee needs to meet you. She would
I love her.
you.
She's a very brave lady and faced some terrible problems because she was so public. I really admire her.
Me too.
Yeah.
So where would you like people to follow you personally? Because you've told us where to follow the temple at the actorstemple.org and donate. And
well, of course, thank you. I am on Facebook, and a lot of my poetry I now have a second book. And so I've put my poetry on my Facebook page, which is Carol Ostrow Productions, I think. But it's there. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. As long as I don't lose my mind, I'm all right. But yes, it's on Facebook, Carol Ostrow, both my business life and the videos and everything that I try to do for the Actors Temple is right there. And it would be great to have followers. Wonderful.
Super. And
Only
what was
because
No, go
it
ahead.
will do some good. It will do some good. I'd love everyone to know more about poetry, which has gotten to be so popular these days. It's such a reflection of the beauty of life.
And that's
Using
what I was
words.
going to ask you is what was the purpose of, what were you trying to do to beautify the world with your poetry? And you just answered that.
Yeah, it's because we were all suffering terribly. And I was worried. I can read you one of my poems that I like if you want me to.
Oh, yes, please.
I'll read you one of my favorite ones, which is so Jewish. Guilt is a waste of time. In these days of the corona disease, I consume comfort food, if you please. What saves my life, certainly not dietish, is a bagel, tomato, and fresh tuna fish. Also, oozing cheese on buttered bread does more for me than going to bed. Now that tells you a lot about me, right? This reason sure does play with my head. I hate the thought of what calories will do, but now who cares? I'm not feeling blue. Martha's cookies called kitchen sink put me in a mood you'd call pretty pig. Raisins, almonds, brown sugar now, so much better than the average of Dow. My hind quarters are about to grow in size, but wearing pajamas, I do realize that 2020, in my hindsight, will be a terrible time of fright. But oh my Lord, I put up a fight. Never forget that weight can be lost, but mental health is worth the cost. Bring on that cake with buttercream frost. Does this entice? Bring on a slice. I love that one.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you. It
Love
just
it a lot.
makes, I think it just puts life in perspective. You need to do something. I mean, don't go crazy. You need to eat something, go ahead. But tomorrow, you'll lose it.
Absolutely. We can't, all we have to do is start moving again and it'll drop off.
Move, that's right. And I haven't even gotten back to my discipline of exercise every day. I always find an excuse.
It's so hard to be disciplined to exercise.
Yeah, and I am a disciplined person. I learned that from dancing, but it's a little off kilter right now.
It does get that way. Oh my gosh. I have a joke. May I?
Oh, please.
May I indulge you? So I say that it was so weird at the beginning of the pandemic, they said, it's not safe to travel. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I looked at my fridge and I said, oh, I'm staying home. I'm going to eat everything in that. So I did. I didn't travel. I just ate everything in the fridge and sent my hips abroad.
Your broad hips were pretty damn broad. Abroad
New
is
area
abroad is
code.
abroad. I love that. I'm going to make a poem out of that and send it to you and dedicate it to you.
Yes, thank you. You've been such a joy and so funny that I thought the word joy, and you talked about joy being so important. That's weird.
It is.
So
And
I've
share,
enjoyed it. What?
I want to share it, but I want to thank you. You're such a delightful person and you made me feel so comfortable.
Oh,
Thank
good.
you.
I'm so glad you came and I got to know you. And thanks for putting up with me trying to communicate with a little bit of leftover brain injury.
Oh my God. You'll be all right. Let that joy seep in.
Yeah. being in the moment. I think everybody, what's
Good.
the one, what would you like to tell people to encourage them in the future? What's one like piece of advice for now for us?
I think one of the best poets in the world is Stephen Sondheim, and I've said this before, because he captured life in all of his Broadway shows and in all of his lyrics. And in Follies, he wrote, "We're still here." And those are words to live by. Whatever you go through, no matter what's going to happen, and you don't know the future, and you probably shouldn't know the future, but whatever it is, you're still here. Go with a smile on your face, deal with it the best way you can. Call your friends and tell them you love them, cherish your family, and you'll be okay. And I think that's how I'll go forward in the future. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know that whatever happens, I'm still here and I'll deal with it with the help of my friends.
I want to be one of your friends.
You are.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much, Carol Ostrow.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys.
Love
Now
you.
follow her
Thank
and
you.
follow the temple. I'll put the links up.
Please. Thank you so much. Love and blessings, as Rabbi Jill would always say. Love and blessings.
Yes. Love you, Rabbi Jill. Bye. Bye,
Bye
Carol.
now. Thank you.